Over the past 6 months, food prices in the U.S. have surged by over 40%, sending shockwaves through the national economy. While the U.S. government's tariff policies were intended to protect domestic production, they've actually been driving up costs, pushing millions of retail stores to the brink of collapse, with consumers bearing the brunt of these consequences. In just 6 months, food prices in the U.S. have skyrocketed by more than 40%. This increase is largely due to the tariffs ranging from 35% to 50% the U.S. imposed on imports from major trade partners like Canada, Mexico, and various Asian countries. These tariffs have driven up operational costs for businesses and consumers alike. Retailers and food manufacturers are struggling to keep prices reasonable for everyday products like meat, vegetables, cooking oil, and other essential goods. Products like beef imported from Canada and cooking oil from Mexico are not only more expensive, but harder to import because of these tariffs, creating a strong wave of food inflation. U.S. families, especially those with lower incomes, are now forced to spend more on these basics. This doesn't just lower purchasing power, it also adds a significant financial burden across all social classes. A prime example of this food price increase can be seen with the McDonald's chain. The price of a Big Mac combo has jumped from $6 to $12 to $15, a steep rise from before. The main culprit here is the tariffs on essential ingredients like beef from Canada, oil from Mexico, and other components like vegetables and spices. It's not just McDonald's. Many other fast food chains are also raising their prices to maintain their profit margins. This means consumers are paying more for a simple meal, while the availability of cheap food options decreases. The quality of the food has also suffered, with smaller portions and less fresh ingredients, leading to customer disappointment and a loss of trust in these brands. Macy's, one of the largest retail chains in the U.S., is facing widespread store closures, even in bustling retail areas. Tariffs on textiles and apparel imports from China and India have caused the price of winter clothes and other fashion items to rise by 15 to 22%. Moreover, seasonal items like winter clothes and Christmas products have disappeared from Macy's shelves, leading to huge customer dissatisfaction. According to Coresight Research, Macy's has closed over 400 stores since 2020, including 66 stores in 2025, and plans to close around 150 more over the next 3 years. This not only affects revenue but also leads to a significant loss of jobs, with over 2,350 employees laid off. The lack of goods and store closures has forced customers to turn to competitors or online shopping. This has created a wave of unemployment in the retail industry, as many stores shut down and workers lose their jobs due to continuous cutbacks. Target is facing a series of serious challenges in 2025, driven by tariffs on goods imported from countries like China, Vietnam, India, and Mexico. In Q1 2025, Target's revenue fell by 2.8%, totaling $23.85 billion, below Wall Street's forecast of $24.23 billion. This is mainly due to product shortages, with many items either missing from shelves or delayed due to supply chain issues. According to Reuters, U.S. imports dropped by 8.4% in June 2025, as concerns about new tariffs mounted. This shortage not only impacts short-term revenue, but also lowers customer satisfaction as they can't find their favorite or necessary products in stores. Moreover, the decrease in spending by the middle class is putting Target in an even more difficult situation. Consumer spending is expected to drop from 5.7% in 2024 to 3.7% in 2025, according to a report from Morgan Stanley, as consumers prioritize essential items. Target has tried to adapt by introducing 10,000 new items priced under $20 to attract budget-conscious shoppers, but this hasn't been enough to offset the revenue loss from non-essential products. These issues have also led to fewer customers visiting stores, putting even more pressure on Target's revenue moving forward. Wendy's is also feeling the impact of the trade war. The price of combos at Wendy's has increased from $11 to $14, with standout items like the Baconator Combo reaching $14.26 in July 2025. This makes a meal at Wendy's much more expensive for many customers, especially those on tight budgets. While the chain mostly uses domestic beef, the 32% tariff on cooking oil from Mexico and seeds from other countries has raised ingredient costs significantly. To maintain profits, Wendy's has had to cut portion sizes and use lower quality ingredients, drastically reducing the product's quality. Items like smaller buns, thinner patties, and less fresh ingredients have led to customer dissatisfaction, particularly from those who are used to the brand's higher standards. Additionally, Wendy's had to close 140 underperforming stores at the end of 2024, and its revenue forecast for 2025 is expected to decrease by 0 to 2% rather than grow as previously projected. These factors are eroding customer loyalty, forcing them to seek alternatives or shop online. Trader Joe's, a chain known for its organic products and specialties, is facing a small crisis that's becoming all too apparent. Their signature items like cheese, wine, and organic products from Europe and South America are disappearing from shelves as if they're in a race to escape tariffs. The 25% tariff on imports from these regions has skyrocketed the cost of these goods, throwing the supply chain into chaos. Although there are no official figures, I estimate that in 2025, Trader Joe's could lose about 30% of its signature items just due to tariffs and rising prices. This is just my estimate. Don't take me as an economic expert. This isn't just hurting short-term revenue, but also deteriorating Trader Joe's service quality. Customers can't find their favorite items and are left searching for alternatives either from other stores or online, where tariffs aren't an issue. Honestly, if they can't stabilize their supply chain soon, I think Trader Joe's could lose another 20 to 25% of their customers in 2025. It's a tough spot for them, and without timely solutions, the store chain could face even more challenges. Dollar General, once known for its affordability, can't escape the rising prices due to tariffs and supply chain disruptions. Essential products like milk and canned goods have gone up by 15% to 28%, driving costs even higher. The average tariff rate in the U.S. has now risen to 18.6% in 2025, the highest it's been since 1933. These tariffs are particularly hitting imports from Mexico and Canada, two countries that supply a significant portion of the U.S. food market. This price hike is especially affecting remote areas and low-income communities, where Dollar General is often the only option for essential goods. Based on the current situation and analyses from economic experts, if this continues, Dollar General could lose between 5% and 10% of its revenue in 2025, as consumers are forced to spend more on basic goods. Both consumers and retailers are feeling the negative effects of this trade war, with rising prices and disrupted supplies making life harder for everyone involved. Safeway is also struggling with major challenges due to the impact of the trade war and new tariff policies. Since the beginning of 2024, the cost of a shopping cart at Safeway has increased by $30 to $50 compared to the previous year, mostly due to rising import costs and tariffs. Imported items like cheese, fruits, and wine from Europe and South America are becoming harder to find on Safeway's shelves. This not only disrupts the supply chain but also diminishes Safeway's service quality, as the store can't provide the necessary products customers need. From my personal analysis, Safeway's revenue could drop by 3% to 5% in 2025 due to shortages and rising costs. Service at many stores is also suffering, with many locations cutting staff, leading to longer wait times and empty shelves. This has lowered customer satisfaction, with many shoppers turning to other stores or shopping online, further putting pressure on Safeway's revenue. Without quick solutions, Safeway could lose another 10% of its customers in 2025 due to supply chain issues and service quality problems.